Hi everybody, and welcome to the first edition of the Dragway Memories video series. We got a 6-month series of never seen before footage. Myself and Bill Richards is going to narrate this stuff and you're gonna love it. Look who we got to begin here. Hit the button. That is TV Tommy Ivo up against a very young Jeb Allen. TV Tommy, back then they didn't have self-starters. They push-started them. It was all part of the show. They'd switch lanes, come back in front of the crowd, fire it up. I don't know, how old do you figure Jeb was there, Bill?
He'd be in his early 20s there. He started racing top fuelers when he was 18 years old. The family top fueler.
And it looks like getting through the top end here, Allen's going to take it. Yeah, he gets there first. Yeah. Then we come up with some funny cars here. Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney in her Plymouth Satellite. Really cool machine.
Shirley Muldowney, Schenectady, New York. She started street racing like most did, and later on her husband got a 4-speed Corvette, and she used to clean up back in New York, progressed through the ranks, had a double-engine gasser, into the funny cars here now, and hooked up with Connie Kalita, the bounty hunter. She hated the name Cha-Cha, but used it to full advantage. She overcame all kinds of obstacles, and is a 3-time world champion in Top Fuel Dragster. There's her probably 1976 or so when she moved into Top Fuel Dragster.
Up against the Jungle Man himself, Jungle Jim Lieberman. In his Vega, he squeaks it out, gets down to the top end. He takes the title. The Alabamian Pee Wee Wallace, this guy could put a burnout down like no other. Always put on a good show. Who's he got over there? It looks like Proc in the custom body car. Yeah. And Pee Wee showing him the way home.
Up next, Frank Elliott, one of 2 Hemi Cudas imported to Canada. This is the only 4-speed car. Neil Greenside's brought it in. Frank Elliott still together today, just like that. Now this is the Fahey brothers out of Buffalo. Hemi-powered 4-speed Corvette, making short work of Pete Fedden. Next up, Tommy Mangov. This car he later rolled. That car no longer exists. Tommy Mangov, legendary engine builder. He passed on now. This car didn't last long. He rolled it. There's some good footage of this car being rolled over at Cayuga. And he replaced it with the next car with a Paul Blevins Corvette. There it is there, Raceway Machine Shop. He bounced around, eventually built his own engines in his own shop until he passed. The kid's taken over today. That is a car that survives today, and it's on the streets of Aurelia. He later bought the Paul Blevins Corvette. Look at the Charger.
Beautiful.
Nice machine. Fred Spate in the Race Car Engineering 55 Chevy Gear Jammer. Fred Spate in the Race Car Improvements machine. Beautiful 55 Chevy up against another heavy hitter 55. That's the Vanny brothers. Fred became a legendary tuner, worked with Larry Dobbs for years, and he now helps out people in Pro Modified and Alcohol Funny Car. He is a veteran tuner. Love the gold tinted windows. Fred later on became a very famous Pro Modified and Alcohol Funny Car tuner. This is the ex-Chili Willy Gremlin, Forrest and Everett.
All right, John Fenn, Maureen Fenn coming up with a 70, converted to a 71 446 pack.
Favorite car of mine, John and Maureen Fenn. They split up now. John is a real estate salesman in San Diego, California. This is an original 1970 car. It was Hemi Orange 446 pack. His brother bought one as well and ran it mostly on the street. This car was run to about 1976. R&B engines, that's Ray Barton. And the engine was never done by him in this car, but as promotional work for Ray Barton, who then moved to Montreal and then now in the States very famous. So this car last was seen in Burlington. And apparently it's still in the garage there, just sitting as it is. Paint by Jesus. And John and Maureen, this is a Hemi Orange car originally. They gave them free rein, and they were shocked when they first saw the car. They couldn't believe how wild it was, but they got used to it after a while.
What a beautiful car, paint by Jesus. And this is Jim Audie and his Double B funny car. Didn't run this one for very long, did he, Bill?
Not very long, no.
Up against an unknown 57 Chevy here. Strapping them on their top end there. Audie won everything, it seemed. Billy Morrison coming up now in his Camaro. Running for car belt here, up against an unknown Mustang. We're not sure who that might be. And then another pair of Camaros. Eric Cramp, small block car. It was originally a big block car, taking on Fedden. And young Mr. Cramp looked like he was on his way to victory here. Unknown Nova over there, possibly Gord Patton, up against the beautiful Carbelt-sponsored Mustang. Bruce Fitzgibbon.
Next up, the Speed Trends car, Westburg, Westfalen Warrens. At one time, the Stormalong car, there's like 10 or 11 of them Stormalongs for sure. Very, very competitive racers out of Buffalo. The Gold Gambler debuted in 1970. Could be A.J. Dittner at the wheel here. We figure this is 1974.
Yep.
And this, we believe, is the Sound Factory, Frank Hawley.
Front engine digger.
Front engine. Look at the small rear tire. Boy, oh boy, Outlaw street cars have bigger tires than that nowadays.
Yeah. This
Brian
is cool.
Noakes. Before all the custom paint on it.
Double B.
Cool looking machine. Challenger out of the States. I don't know if it was a Marv Eldridge car or not, but look at this. You can spot this paint job a mile away. Ken K, very famous custom painter.
And the wheel standards come Mustard Cutter, Roger Ward taking on the LA Dart of Bill Shrewsbury. Wheel standards very popular at Dragway Park. Oh, he lost his hood. Up next, it's the 65 Plymouth Stick Hemi. Happiness is ex-Ed Miller car. Keith Gosselin coming up. Original A990 car. And then the Keith Roadrunner. C-altered Hemi machine out of who knows where. We'd like to know.
Woody custom lettering on the car up against the Varmint machine out of Buffalo. Beatty and Woods. This car didn't survive very long. At a shop fire, burnt the back half of it off. They dismantled it and bought the Motown Missile, and the rest is history.
It's Freddie over there.
Yeah, Tony Suffoletto and the Gordon machine out of Buffalo. Gord Strutt and the Polar Express, his main gig was tuning stock car racers, short track. This was his hobby up against the Peppermill, very famous machine.
Jim Lindsay.
Yeah. We don't know who this, we should know, but the Plum Crazy Purple has got a Canadian plate on it. Jimmy Moore in the Vega. Parkdale Automotive. And he's making short work of the Gold Gambler.
Here comes Donnie Cloak rolling through the gears in the Hemi 4-speed X Petrie machine. Donnie's got to have more runs down the track than anybody alive. This is a beautiful scene for Mopar lovers.
Yeah,
Roadrunner.
Yeah, Woody custom lettered that car. It's a Canadian car, but we don't know that much about it, unfortunately.
Very cool.